What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and it's late actually here for me. It's 3:49 in the morning, and that would make it almost 7 o'clock Eastern time. And the reason why I've decided to make a video at almost 4 o'clock in the morning is because I don't have a subscription to the Miami Herald, but every now and again, like once or twice a month, I get a free article. And so I'm, getting my free article for the month, I suppose. And I got this because I pulled up Armando Salguero of the Miami Herald put out an article, you know, with some, interesting perspective on this, the Xavien Howard debacle that has been unfolding. And I wanted to read through it and just kind of briefly discuss it. So, he entitles the article, Xavien Howard asked Dolphins to move money to 2021 rather than seek a new deal. Okay, so one day before he went public with his trade request, so that's Tuesday, yesterday now, right? Because it is now Wednesday. On Monday, the day before he went public with his trade request, Miami Dolphins All-Pro cornerback Xavien Howard and his agent David Cantor talked with the team one final time to try to resolve the player's contract situation. The Dolphins have continually listened to salary proposals from Howard and Cantor in meetings with General Manager Chris Greer and even Coach Brian Flores, so far without resolution during the offseason. So in the final meeting before the start of training camp, the player suggested another solution that would merely move money on his current contract around rather than request a totally new deal. Howard and Cantor previously asked the Dolphins to move $4 million from Howard's $11.65 million base salary scheduled for 2024 to this year. And look, for whatever you think about Armando Salguero, I actually kind of like him because I like how he explains things. And as we go through this, he breaks down Xavien Howard's statement, and he actually explains the back room, politics in a smooth and savvy way, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably giving him way too much credit, and I'm sure a lot of people will think that. But anyway, I think he's pretty good at it. And so let's continue on. That move would have accomplished because he explains I thought Xavien Howard's statement actually was really good. And look, I've made my position clear. I think this whole situation is 100% the Dolphins' fault, and I am 100% on Xavien Howard's side in this situation. And I think it's, I told you guys this was going to happen. I had, definitely predicted it. I was off about the timing, but I told you it was going to happen, and I hate it. I hate it because, obviously barring an injury, he's going to go and have a good season wherever he plays. It doesn't matter if he goes to a bad team, right? And if I'm keeping it real, I really think that it's going to end up being in a trade with the Houston Texans. And I think they're going to end up getting Xavien Howard. They're going to end up getting Tua Tagovailoa in that trade, and we're going to get Watson. But man, I don't have confidence in this team and the things that they've done, their player evaluation and development, etc., as I've said a million times. And even with Watson, I don't think it's going to hold up, and especially without Xavien Howard on that defense, which at this point is a foregone conclusion. He's not going to be there. So I don't think the team's going to have the kind of success that people think, and that is the expectation for this season. And I think it's just going to be a giant fucking mess. I hope I'm wrong, but so far I've been pretty overwhelmingly correct in the things that I've been saying. And look, I even told you back in 2019 when this whole thing started with the tank, I told you guys They are going to waste the prime years of Xavien Howard. And lo and behold, here they go. They've done it, right? And so it's a massive disaster. But let's continue on. That move would have accomplished multiple things. It would have made Howard the highest paid player on the team, which he isn't. It would have made him the highest paid cornerback on the team, which he isn't. And it would have made the player feel appreciated and motivated to continue playing at a high level after leading the NFL with 10 interceptions in 2020. I want to be clear about something. Xavien Howard has been... I mean, look, nobody's perfect, and he probably could have done a couple things better, sure. But for the most part, I fully believe that Xavien Howard has tried his hardest to avoid conflict in this situation. The problem is the people that he is dealing with, especially Brian Flores, who from now, it's really starting to come out, although I've been saying these things for quite some time, is that Brian Flores is a liar, and he's a egotistical person that likes to be in control. And he's trying to emulate what Bill Belichick and the Patriots, he's trying to emulate the Bill Belichick and Patriot way. And it's not going to work, and I've been telling you guys this from the beginning. And that's who he's trying to negotiate with, right? A lot of Dolphins fans praise him for his real cutthroat way that he handles players. When Howard put out that real cryptic tweet, although I didn't think it was all that cryptic, the one where he said, they don't, basically I'm paraphrasing or whatever, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Well, they're going to find out. And I feel like it's going to end up being in a trade with the Texans, him and Tua. And if they go there and they have good individual seasons, even if the Texans aren't really all that great, and the Dolphins shit the bed because of all of this madness, and you're forced now to get rid of the best player on your team, really the only blue chip player that you can say you have for sure. And I don't care what anybody says, the culture in Miami is toxic as fuck, and it's not gonna last. Anyway, let's get to the rest of this. So and then I wanted to also say, and look, it's becoming well known now through all these reports and so on and so forth, that the Dolphins have literally just refused to even come to the table or negotiate. Just flat out refused. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not how you have good relationships with anybody. It doesn't matter what the setting or circumstance is. If you're unwilling to negotiate, if you're unwilling to compromise and come to a middle ground that makes both sides happy, win-win, as Howard put it, well, then what the fuck do you expect? And that's why I say this is 100% the Dolphins' fault. They fucked up by paying a lesser caliber player more money than him. They fucked up on every level. His shitty contract from the beginning, giving him such a shitty contract, right? Even attempting to sell him on that shitty contract. But teams do that all the time, and they know that these players are not lawyers, and they prey on that. So, no, the Dolphins are absolutely the culprit here, and it's their fault. So, continuing on. Moving the money forward would have also paid Howard money now, at age 28, that he may not necessarily ever see in 2024 at age 31. The Dolphins did not agree, nor did they agree to trade Howard when he originally asked for it, which apparently came before he went public on the eve of training camp practices. So he probably actually asked Monday in that final meeting after they said, fuck you, we're still not even gonna fucking entertain this, your latest idea. I mean, they're scumbags. There's really no getting around it. They're just being scumbags. That's all there is to it. And so Howard is one, and as much as I hate to see him go, as much as I love Howard and what he contributes, and as much as detrimental as it's going to be to my team, I completely understand why he wants to get out of here. Because I told you guys from Jump Street that this dude, it didn't take me long to realize that he was going to try and emulate the Bill Belichick and Patriot way. And I told you guys, this dude is going to instill a very, very toxic culture. Everybody wanted to hate on me and wanted to be fucking Brian Flores, fucking Stans, or whatever the fuck it is these days, right? You know, fucking up his ass. Okay, dude, well, I'm telling you, man, the season is not going to go as planned. Things are going to fucking collapse in front of everybody's face. Dolphins fans' heads are going to explode, and Brian Flores and Chris Greer are going to be out of here at the end of the season. I'm telling you, I've been telling you. So, we'll see. Let's see. Nor did they agree to a separate request to fully guarantee Howard's 2022 scheduled salary of $12.375 million when that was suggested. And so Howard went public with his displeasure. My agent David Cantor and I have never once asked for a completely new contract, Howard wrote on his Instagram account to his 149,000 followers. We wanted things to work out with the Dolphins and brought solutions to the table, like guaranteeing more money. That we felt were win-wins for both sides. Those were proposals of adjustments that wouldn't just make me feel more respected, but were also cap-friendly. But the Dolphins refused everything we proposed. None of Howard's proposals seem outrageous on their face, and each would likely increase his trade value if he carries those requests to a new team rather than seeking a whole new renegotiation, which is actually kind of part of the irony here. Because they're actually kind of... because that's true, right? Like because then it becomes more team friendly. Like, it's not... instead of having to rip up the contract and write him a whole new massive deal, it could be restructured in such a way that is more friendly. So that way, if he did have to be traded or whatever, it actually would be more beneficial to the Dolphins too. But, you know, they're stubborn and egotistical, so they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Let's see, the Dolphins stated reason for declining to shift money around on Howard's deal. They apparently don't like the idea of setting the precedent of reworking a standing contract, according to a source, and they made it clear to Howard they have concerns about his injury history. Okay, on the first part of that, with the precedent, I just call bullshit. I just straight up call bullshit. If you're again, I mean, it's insane. It's insane that anybody argues that the precedent being set is you pay a player who is inarguably top 3, although I consider him to be the best cornerback in the league, obviously when healthy, but it's clear the numbers and the tape and the production proves it. So, you know, the number 1 corner in the league, but inarguably top 3, okay, and you don't want to pay him like it? What I mean, that's a precedent. So when a player plays like an elite blue chip player, top 3 at their position, and even drastically outplays the contract that they just signed, and is also your most important player, your best player, etc., you think that's a bad precedent to set? Well, then I tell you, you're an idiot. Because if that's one of your base philosophies for how you're going to run this organization, you're a fucking moron. Because that is actually a wonderful precedent to set. Because what that tells the other players is if you exceed your fucking expectations and you ball the fuck out, we'll negotiate with you. We'll give you money, we'll pay you, we'll take care of you. But they're saying the exact opposite of that. And especially because they wouldn't even come to the table and refused everything. I mean, it's disgraceful. It really is. Stephen Ross goes on about wanting to build a first-in-class organization. Dude, it's a fucking garbage heap that has just been repeatedly lit on fire, extinguished, and then lit on fire again. I mean, it's disgraceful. It really is. And then the injury history, I get that. But if you're keeping it real, I mean, look, at this point, I get there's injury history, and it's always something to take into consideration. But he has proven in most recent history that he's healthy, and giving you no reason to expect otherwise. He's also 28, and so reasonably you can expect that a cornerback at that age probably has another couple years in them. And so if you're gonna bet on an elite player that when he is on the field is unquestionably elite and he's going to give you production, you gotta pay him. Because it's worth it. That's the kind of risk that's worth it. But constantly they are, taking risks on, they love to take risks on injury, prone players and reaches and so on and so forth, and other teams cast-offs and former first-round busts. But they can't pay this dude. Are you kidding me? And again, I love Jerome Baker, but they overpaid the dude. They overpaid him, and they could have, it's absurd. Anyway, that injury history, which includes Howard missing 9 games as a rookie in 2016 and 4 more in 2018, didn't prevent the Dolphins from extending him in the summer of 2019. That deal paid Howard $27 million, fully guaranteed for what was effectively 6 seasons. The next summer in 2020, the Dolphins paid Byron Jones $46 million fully guaranteed on a 5-year deal. They gave him it's not quite twice as much in fully guaranteed, but that is a substantial leap. And Byron Jones, I don't care who you are, like, you're not going to tell me that Byron Jones even sniffs at the caliber of player that Xavien Howard is. He doesn't. It's not close. It's really not. He's proven he can't really play all that well in man coverage and requires help from the safety, and at least a decent above average player. It can't be he needs good help because he's not all that great. His numbers last year were not that great. I think he's very much overrated. Anyway, Howard didn't appreciate that the team valued a new player with less production more than him, and he's absolutely 100% in the right to feel that way. Again, why would you, working any job in the world, feel okay about somebody doing basically the same job but inferior quality and getting paid more? You'd be furious. So he's 100%. And it has not escaped Howard's attention that the Dolphins last season made a statement practically every game that the cornerback making less money was better. And it's becoming also quite clear that Byron Jones is, a teacher's pet of Brian Flores. He's a Brian Flores favorite, and it's a disaster because he's going to get exposed. Watch. He's now the team's top corner. He's going to get exposed. Bet. The assignments I'm given, shadowing the opposition's best player with little help, proves my value and my worth. To be fair, he didn't always do that, but that's not fully the point. So, anyway, Howard wrote, "Yet I'm the second highest paid cornerback on my own team, and it's not even close. The worrisome thing about this situation is it seems to be getting personal. The negotiations have certainly been personal, because the Dolphins requested Howard join Cantor in face-to-face meetings with Greer and others at least once. How did that go? The Dolphins asked Cantor to not speak with the media, which is a typical request they make of all agents so as to not make negotiations more difficult for them. In return, the team promised it would consider adjusting Howard's contract, which apparently was just a flat-out lie, because they have refused everything. Flat-out lie. Flat-out lie. Cantor complied and stopped returning texts, seeking comment since his first meeting with the team on this subject on January 11th. January 11th. Stop taking from the media, right? Armando Salguero being one. But all considerations aside, the club has not moved toward actually adjusting Howard's current deal, which runs through 2024. They just flat out refused, and just lie to people's faces. The Dolphins refused everything we proposed, Howard wrote. This is why I don't feel the organization has dealt with me in good faith, and they haven't, because they're scumbags. Those conversations with X, his representation, Chris Greer, myself, those will, like always, will be internal, confidential, and it will always be that way, Flores said Tuesday. Yeah, and I gotta say, bro, that's what shady people say. If you're not willing to fucking put that shit out on Front Street so the world can see it, more often than not, you got something to fucking hide. I'm just saying, whatever. Flores said Tuesday, because this was his comments at his press conference. We'll keep it that way with all players, but we're excited to have him. I'm excited to work with him. He's a great player, and I look forward to building over the course of training camp. Clearly, just lies, just bullshit, just fucking stupid PC fucking coach speak nonsense. So, whatever. I mean, a lot of people are starting to sour on him. As you guys know, I've seen through him from the beginning. So, people hate me for it. It is what it is. So where does this go from here? Howard is merely reporting to camp every day so as to avoid a mandatory $50,000 fine he'd be assessed for holding out. But does that mean he'll practice, risking an injury that could sidetrack his trade request? That is not clear. I doubt it. Howard has promised to handle myself like professionals do. But he can just say that, he's not feeling well. He's, his knees are feeling a little tight or whatever. Whatever, dude. I mean, it's stupid that it even has to come to this. But again, it's the Dolphins' fault. The Dolphins, meanwhile, have told Howard and Cantor they don't intend to trade him. That could be true. He is, after all, their most productive player. Or it could be a negotiating stance. My guess is it's a negotiating stance. Because I think they're at least smart enough to understand that this is irreparable, and keeping him around at this point is going to be even more detrimental to the team overall. Yeah, because of the drama and how personal it is, and Armando gets to it a little bit in a minute, how it affects the rest of the locker room. The club initially resisted the idea of trading disgruntled defensive back Minkah Fitzpatrick in 2019 before ultimately sending him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then there's this. Will Howard's demeanor in the locker room, where teammates are aware he is not happy, as he wrote, have a harmful effect on team building? Absolutely. Of course it will. Of course it will. Of course it will. That will almost definitely be addressed with Howard no later than Wednesday morning, when the Dolphins are scheduled to practice for the first time this training camp at 10:30 a.m. Flores, by the way, is not scheduled to speak with reporters again until Friday. He is scheduled to go on the Joe Rose radio show this morning, which apparently he has already done, or is maybe currently still doing. I don't know. But that shit was super early in the fucking morning. That's crazy. But then again, here I am making a video super fucking early in the morning, or late, however you want to say. See it, whatever. So, with that though, I am going to get out of here. It's been fun, and I actually need to get the fuck to sleep. So, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.